Hello, everyone, and namaskar. Today is World Environment Day, and I wanted to take this opportunity to talk to everybody about my life journey and my exposure to yoga and how it happened and what kind of benefits and changes I have noticed in myself and in my life with my practices. Well, all of us were born and brought up in a Roman Catholic family, me and my two sisters, and always used to go to church on Sundays as kids and as children, studied in convent schools. So obviously there was a lot of Christian effect, impact on our bringing up, or in our culture, in our traditions and values. But as we grew up, we got exposed to life, we got exposed to more people, friends, and different societies, different places where we lived and stayed and worked, brought about a lot of changes in our understanding of ourselves and our environment. Consequently, I got exposed to Nichiren's Buddhism when I was in 2008, when I got laid off from my first job. And I started practicing Nichiren's Buddhism for a very long time, almost till 2018. However, all this while, all practices, all understandings, all philosophies and religions have helped me to arrive at where I am today, to achieve what I have achieved today, and developed me, evolved me into the person that I am today. And I think I owe that to all the practices, but most importantly and most predominantly, it's been my practice of yoga since 2018 of October that I got exposed to Isha Foundation and got initiated into Shambhavi Mahamudra by Sadhguru and his volunteers. And ever since October 23rd, October 24th, 2018, I have been practicing Shambhavi Mahamudra without any break whatsoever. So we got initiated and we were expected to do this twice a day for the first 40 days so that it gets ingrained in our system, and thereafter you move to a practice of at least doing it once a day. I lost my job in a lot of places that I worked. I moved to a different city. My mother developed cancer and she passed away. However, I got initiated into Shambhavi and in October of 2018, and in March of 2019 I got an opportunity to go to Coimbatore to Isha Foundation for the Mahashivratri event. And it was a tremendous, most wonderful, beneficial experience that I could have ever imagined. When I think about it, how it's really shaped me as a person, my thought process, my attitude towards life, my whole outlook and perception of things, it's really grown as a seed which was planted in me by Sadhguru. And his grace continues to be with me in my life each and every moment that I am living. While I have decided that I will continue to pursue my spiritual aspiration, I still have my father with me and I have to take care of him as well. So The plan is to try and see how I can move towards Coimbatore and Isha Foundation and see how I can help in whichever way possible till dad is there. Post which, hopefully, I would be in a position to volunteer full time at the Isha Foundation. But the yoga, the practices that we've been initiated into have really helped me personally, physically, in a sense that I have lost some weight. I have gone off my blood pressure medicines. Um, I tend to sleep less for some strange reason. I cannot sleep for more than 3-4 hours, then that's probably enough for me. Somehow always end up getting up anywhere between 4 to 5:30 automatically, irrespective of what time I go to sleep. For all this, I had to put an alarm earlier if I had to get up during my earlier days in school and in college when we were studying. But this becomes very automatically now. So I get a sense that probably my physical body is aligning with the way the universe is functioning, and therefore it's naturally happening to me. Um, I do not feel too hungry. Well, I do end up eating maybe 1 or 1.5 meals a day. I've realized that drink, thirst, and hunger for food has gone down tremendously. There's a lot of love and a lot of curiosity for nature, for outdoors, for the earth, for the plants, for the vegetation, for the crops, for the flowers, for the trees, for the insects and birds. While I'm still afraid of a lot of animals, but I see myself looking at them and seeing them in a very different way compared to how it was earlier. Emotionally, it's helped me to become much more stable, much more calmer and relaxed. Mentally, I am not so um, aggressive, angry. There are still opportunities and times when I do get upset and stressed and worried. But I think those instances are much less than compared to earlier in my previous years. So I think yoga has really helped in my overall development, mentally, physically, emotionally, energy wise. I feel fitter, much more energetic. I'm able to do at least 10 kilometers walk every day. And while my love for my walk goes down to to an earlier time, but it's just become so much of a part of me that I have to get up in the morning. I have to be able to go out and walk, or in the evening to be able to go out and walk, and as far as possible try to keep my contact with the earth by walking barefoot on the grass or in mud or in some place. Started gardening and planting vegetables and flowers, and I've really enjoyed that because I had no training or education in any of that, but this was just more out of experience and out of my curiosity, which started ever since I started yoga. And obviously Sadhguru has a lot to do with in the way things are unfolding for me, because all his discourses, all his explanations, all his teachings have really had a tremendous impact on my life, and how I think and feel about things and myself and my own life. So I wanted to share this video so that as many people could benefit from this experience as possible. Also for children to be able to get exposed to yoga at an early age. I remember in the school that I used to teach in for 10 months, we had a yoga team, and we had a yoga as a subject, and children were being taught to do, you know, some sort of asanas for their physical, emotional, mental well-being. And it really helps children to be focused and calmer and stable in their attitude, behavior, and interactions. And I would strongly urge all children to do some form of yoga, some asanas which would help them in their course of life, and for parents to encourage children to also take part in all such activities. While everything else is important, your contact with the five elements that all of us are made up of, which is earth, fire, water, air, space, all these things are very, very important for our overall well-being. And I think I've experienced that on days when I don't get to walk, and if I cannot be outdoors, it does tend to make you a little restless and impatient. However, if I do end up walking, and I get my contact with grass and the earth, I feel that it kind of helps me stay focused, calm, and energetic. And I think it's overall good for your nervous system if you are in contact with the earth, because at the end of the day, what are we? We are just part of the planet, like Sadhguru says, a pop up. This body created out of the planet, and this body ultimately will go back to the planet, every single cell. So, if we understand and have that realization and live our daily life with that awareness, it just helps unfold a lot of dimensions to you, which in our normal course we tend to ignore, avoid, or not pay attention to. And I've just tremendously benefited from this practice, and I feel whoever gets exposed to this practice should definitely welcome it and try it with an open mind and an open heart. Be willing, be wanting, and only then it will do its work. Because a guru's seed sown in you with his grace will only germinate if there is your own willingness attached to it, and therefore your own actions, your words, your thoughts, everything matters. So make use of Inner Engineering Online as far as possible. Register yourself on the Isha Foundation website or on Inner Engineering Online website, or use the Sadhguru app to register and make use of this practice. There are many other practices, but all the other advanced courses will need you to first complete Inner Engineering Online, and therefore make use of it, benefit from it, and let not my experience or my video be a motivator or an inspiration. Let your own experience and your own understanding of how things change for you be your own motivator, because that will be scalable and that will stay with you. My saying something or anybody else is saying something, or even Sadhguru's videos will not really last the effect or impact you in a manner where you can drive yourself from moment to moment. That driving has to happen from your own self. So I hope this video helps you in trying to introspect, think about the essentials and what you really should do with your physical, emotional, and mental self, and also try and work on your energy body in a manner where you can continue to grow, evolve, and be in line with the universe and with nature, and add to the welfare and well-being of your society and the environment that you live in. I will speak to you again. Namaskar.